Hi everyone. As we know, in the last few by using last few videos, we completed our discussion in the chapter Heron's formula. And today, what is my plan is we are going to just revise the chapter. Okay. Instead of starting the next chapter, let me revise. Revise in the sense I will not revise each and every question. I will make a rough plan, a rough sketch of the total chapter. That much only. We will take concepts from each question and we will discuss. Within 20 minutes, the revision will get over, and it's your duty to revise each question well. I will give you a rough sketch of the total chapter, that much only, through this video, and just revise the chapter well and just learn this video well. Okay, after watching this video, you can start the revision of the chapter Heron's formula. So, what are concepts we discussed in Heron's formula? Also, why this Heron's formula is, in order to calculate the area of a triangle, we can depend upon this Heron's formula. So, there exists many different equations for calculating area of a triangle, and the first one very common formula is it was area is equal to half into bh. Half into bh can be applied only in the case of right triangle. What do you mean by right triangle? It's a triangle with the one angle is 90 degree. In other cases, in other type of triangles, we cannot use half into bh formula. So at that time, if three sides are given, if three sides are only given, I repeat, if three sides are only given, we cannot apply half into bh formula, isn't it? We have to go for another formula, and that formula is given by Heron. Okay, and that formula is known as Heron's formula, and Heron's formula is defined as square root of s into s my area of a triangle with the sides ABC. Area of a triangle with the sides ABC is defined as square root of s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c, where s is equal to s stands for semi-perimeter. That means a plus b plus c by 2. That means sum of the three sides divided by 2. We have discussed everything well, isn't it? So by applying that Heron's formula, we understood how to calculate area of a triangle. If you area of a triangle, if three sides are given, and suppose in some cases maybe base and height may be given in a triangle. If base and height is given, I repeat, if base and height is given, you can use half into bh formula. Not only in right triangle. So I said only in right triangle we can use half into bh formula. I was wrong. Actually, we can apply this half into bh formula in every triangle if with the base and heights are given. For example, I will show you an example. This is a right triangle with this is 90 degree and base is 3 and height is 4. Then area is nothing but half into bh, and half into base is 3 into height is 4. In that way we can calculate. Suppose the some other triangle, you just consider the example of this triangle. I have to calculate the area of this triangle. Only two things are given. Base is given as 6 centimeter and height is given as 3 centimeter. See, this is the height of this triangle. See, in this triangle this is height. In this triangle this is known as height, and if the base and height is given, if base is given, then that height should be towards the base. Suppose if you are considering base as 6, then height should be towards the base, and here the base is 6 and height is 3 because this height is towards that base, no problem. So you can consider base as 6 and height as 3. Here also, this is not a right triangle, but here also you can use the formula half into b into h. That means half into 6 into 3. Here also you can use this formula half into bh. Why? Because a base and height is given. So these are the two cases when we can apply this formula half into b into h. And all other cases, I repeat, some cases like if three sides are given, suppose this is 3 centimeter and suppose this is 4 centimeter and suppose this is 5 centimeter. If you want to calculate the area of this triangle, area of this triangle, you can use Heron's formula. And Heron's formula says that area is equal to square root of s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c, and s is nothing but the semi-perimeter. The area formula is square root of s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c, and s is nothing but semi-perimeter. How we will get the value of s here? Add all the sides. 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12. So, isn't it? 12. So s is nothing but 12 by 2 is nothing but 6. Semi-perimeter. Take the half of the perimeter. So here it is 6, isn't it? And now we just see, since if we calculate the value of s, then you can easily calculate the area, then square root of s is 6. S minus a means s minus first side. So I am going to consider this as first side. So 6 minus 4 is 2 and 6 minus 5 is 1 and 6 minus 3 is 3. You know how to calculate. So it become 6 into, if prime factorization is always better. Okay, 6 is nothing but, if 6 5 you can prime factorize 2 into 3 and 2 into 1 already prime number, so we are not going to disturb it, and 3 also itself 3 itself is a prime number. Now just see, when you apply square root for 2 2, it become 1 2. When you apply square root for 2 3, it become 1 3. And what will remaining under the square root of 1. And what is 2 into 3? 6. What is square root of 1? 1 itself. So answer is 6. If the unit is in centimeter, answer will be 6 centimeter square. If the unit is in meter, answer will be 6 meter square. This is how this is how to apply this Heron's formula. This is a very simple example. So now in between, now we are going to discuss about exercise 12.1. That means I am going to give you a rough sketch of exercise 12.1. And as we know, in between the starting section and exercise 12.1, there exists some example question, that all example questions are very important. And let me focus about exercise 12.1 right now. And in the exercise 12.1, first question is very important. First question discussing about an equilateral triangle. I think that is a name board. Name board is in the shape of equilateral triangle, and one side is given as A units. In the question it is given like that, isn't it? One side is given as A units. That means it's an equilateral triangle with one side is A. Generally, they consider it as A. Then if one side is A, all the sides will be A. So then what will be the area of that equilateral triangle? Since all sides are given as A, we can easily use Heron's formula to calculate area. So we used to calculate Heron's formula and we got the equation for area as root 3 a square by 4. Root 3 a square by 4 is the area of that equilateral triangle. And it is a general formula, area of an equilateral triangle. That means area of a triangle with all sides are equal. Then area will be root 3 a square by 4. Here A stands for one side of an equilateral triangle. And I think some students may have some difficulty to how to derive this equation. So that's why that only due to that reason I'm going to explain once again how that formula can be derived. Okay. So as I said, that question is discussing about an equilateral triangle. So equilateral triangle is a triangle with all sides are equal. Let it be each side as A unit. It is already given in the question as A units. Then since all sides are given, let us use Heron's formula to calculate area. Area is nothing but square root of S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. Here S is nothing but the semi-perimeter. Here S is nothing but semi-perimeter. In order to calculate S, we have to add all the three sides. So add all the three sides. A plus A plus A, A plus A plus A is nothing but 3A. Divide by 2. We have to divide by 2 now, isn't it? That means S becomes 3A by 2. And S minus A becomes 3A by 2 minus first side. Here all sides are A. So S minus A become 3A by 2 minus A, and S minus B become 3A by 2 minus A again, and S minus C become 3A by 2 minus A again, because all sides are in terms of A. So it becomes square root of, you just see, 3A by 2 into, what is 3A by 2 minus A? See, 3A by 2 minus A. Can I write it as A by 1? Yes. Then you can cross multiply. What is 3A into 1? 3A. What is 3A into 1? 3A. Minus what is 2 into A? 2A. Divided by what is 2 into 1? 2. So what is 3A minus 2A? A. You know, 3 manju minus 2 manju is 1 manju, no? Just like that 1A. That is nothing but A. Divided by 2. So we got 3A by 2 minus A is nothing but A by 2. See, A by 2. So A by 2 into here also A by 2, because all are same, A by 2. Now we just see square root of 3 into this 3 as it is. What is A into A into A into A? A raised to 4. What is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2? 16. Apply. Now you can, it's a time to apply square root. Apply square root separately. When you apply square root for 3, it becomes square root of 3. When you apply square root for A raised to 4, it becomes A square. Because A square into A square is nothing but A raised to 4. And when you apply square root of 16, it becomes 4. Why? Because 4 into 4 is nothing but 16. And this is a required area, root 3 A square by 4. And this is the common formula for an equilateral triangle. So, and we have discussed this question. This question is important, and you know, instead of 3 sides, if ratios are given, that type of question also important. Instead of 3 sides, if ratios are given, That type of question also important. Let me solve that type of a question. Now consider this question. This question says that if three sides of a triangle are in the ratio, instead of sides, ratio are given 1 is to 2, 2 is to 3, and perimeter is given as 36 centimeter, we have to calculate area. See, since ratio is given as ratio of the three sides are given as 1 is to 2 is to 3, so you can consider three sides as what? 1x, 2x, 3x, isn't it? So sides are you can consider as 1x, 2x and 3x according to the ratio. Then you just see perimeter is given as 36 centimeter. What do you mean by perimeter? Sum of three side is nothing but perimeter. Sum of all side is nothing but perimeter. That means 1x plus 2x plus 3x is given as 36. It is nothing but perimeter. That perimeter is given as 36. What is 1x plus 2x plus 3x? 6x. So 6x is equal to 36. Then what will be x? 36 by 6. Now that is nothing but 6 now. So we got the value of x as 6. Then three sides will be 1x, 2x, 3x. No, we got x as 6. So 1x become 1 into 6. 1x become, first side is 1x, second side is 2x, third side is 3x. We consider like that. So 1x become 1 into 6, that is nothing but 6. And 2x become 2 into 6, that is nothing but 12. And 3x become 3 into 6, that is nothing but 18. These are the three sides. Then you can easily calculate the area by using these three sides. I'm not going to discuss that. You have to try yourself. So that is what is exercise 12.2. Sorry, 12.1. Now let us go through exercise 12.2. That is, I am going to give you a overall look on this exercise 12.2. And as you know, this exercise 12.2 contains many different kind of question, many important questions. So you have to, when you revise this chapter, you have to solve at least all exercise 12.2 question, because one student can able to solve all these questions. That means he is completely done this chapter, completely understood this chapter. He is on his way, because if he or she can able to do this exercise 12.2 completely, then she or he understood the chapter completely. Because that's why, because of the reason, this exercise contains many important questions. So I cannot discuss all the important ones, but I will give you a rough sketch of the questions. And this exercise contains how to calculate the area of a quadrilateral by using Heron's formula. Quadrilateral can be separated into two triangles. So instead of calculating area of a quadrilateral, you can calculate area of two triangles separately and add it. Then we will get the area of quadrilateral. That is going to be the way to calculate area of a quadrilateral by using Heron's formula. And let us have a look on the exercise. So exercise 12.2, this first and second question we already solved. All the question, all the difficult questions we discussed, and first and second question is important. In third question, the tail portion, some students feel doubt. So that's why I'm going to explain the tail portion of the third question once again. Okay, tail portion of the third question. Let me draw that portion only. So this is the tail portion, and as we know, this is a trapezium. How to calculate area of a trapezium? Area of a trapezium formula is half into h into a plus b. Half into h into a plus b. Here a and b are nothing but the parallel sides, length of the parallel sides. Which are the parallel sides here? This side and this side are parallel. This side and this side are non-parallel, and these two sides are parallel sides. So instead of a you can write 1, and instead of b you can write 2. So a and b already given. But what about h? H is nothing but the height of the trapezium, and see, this is going to be the h. That is not given in the question. We have to calculate. That means only thing is to calculate h. We have to do some specific steps to calculate h. A and b is there, 1 by 2 is there, h only remaining. We have to calculate h. Then how we can calculate h? If this is 1, just draw a line like this. If this is 1, see, if this portion is 1, this portion also going to be 1. See, this portion also going to be 1. And this plus this, we have to get the total distance, that is given as what? 2. Out of 2, this much is 1. And this plus this portion will be 2. And what about this portion? That portion will be what? 0.5. And this portion also will be what? 0.5. and now we just see both portions should be equal. Then in that way only chance is for 0.5. Why? Because 1 plus 0.5 is 1.5. 1.5 plus 0.5 will be 2. We will get the total length as 2. You may understood, isn't it? So now we just focus on this right triangle. This right triangle, let me draw that separately, right triangle. And this is 1. So of course this is 1. And we got this as 0.5. So of course this is 0.5. And in that figure it is mentioned on S. So let us use Pythagoras theorem. In that way we can easily calculate the value of H. By using Pythagoras theorem, it says that what Pythagoras theorem says, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. So here the hypotenuse is 1. So 1 square is equal to, you may understand, are you following? 1 square is equal to, what is base? 0.5. So 0.5 square plus what is height square? H square. You may understand. 1 square is nothing but 1. What is 0.5 square? How you can calculate 0.5 square? What is 5 square? 25. Then in 0.5, 1 decimal point. In the case of 0.5 square, 2 decimal points. So 1, 2. So answer will be 0.25 plus h square. Then what will be h square? Take this 0.25 to left side. So it becomes 1 minus 0.25. What is 1 minus 0.25? 0.75 is equal to h square. That means, then what will be h square? What will be h? H will be square root of that. That means square root of 0.75. Then that means h will be, what is square root of 0.75? In order to calculate it as very simple, let me write it as 75 by 100. Can I write it as 0.75 or 75 by 100? Yes, of course, because when you divide 75 by 100, we will get 0.75. You may understand. Once again I am repeating, by using Pythagoras theorem we written this much, then we substitute everything, then we applied the square, then we calculate h square. H square we got it as 0.75. In order to calculate h, we have to take the square root. Then in order to take the square root of 0.75, I am replacing 0.75 as 75 by 100. And now we just see, can I write this 7? So because I need to simplify the value of h, that's why I am doing like this. So square root of, what is 75? Can I write 75 as 25 into 3? Yes, of course. 75 as 25 into 3. I can easily write 25 into 3. Because 25 into 3 is nothing but 75. Divide by what? 100. You may understood, isn't it? Now we just see, what is the value of h now? H is nothing but square root of, instead of 75 I written 25 into 3 divided by 100. You know why? You know why I am writing. എന്തിനാണ് 75 25 into 3 എന്നൊക്കെ ഇതിന് ചോദിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതിനുള്ള ഉത്തരമാണ് പറഞ്ഞുതരാം. എന്തിനാണ് 75 25 into 3 എന്ന് എഴുതുന്നതെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ, 75 ഒരു പെർഫെക്റ്റ് സ്ക്വയർ ആണോ? Is 75 is a perfect square? No, not at all. 75 is not a perfect square. Which are the perfect squares? 16 is a perfect square because square root of 16 is 4. What is square root of 36 is a perfect square because square root of 36 is 6. What is 49? 49 is a perfect square because square root of 49 is 7. But 75 is not a perfect square. Why? Because square root of 75 is not existing as a perfect number, isn't it? So 75 is not a perfect square. So what my plan is, since 75 is not a perfect square, I am trying to write this 75 as a perfect square into something. Not understood? Listen. Square root of 75 is, as we know, it is not a perfect square. It is not easy to calculate the square root. So that's why I am writing it as 75 as a perfect square into something. If I write 75 as 25 into 3, 25 is a perfect square, no? 25 is a perfect square. So instead of square root of 75, what I am going to write? Square root of 25 into 3. Because 25 is a perfect square. That what I did is, since 75 is not a perfect square, I tried to write 75 as a perfect square into something. It can be anything. Anything nalla. Multiply ചെയ്ത് എന്ത് കിട്ടണം? 75 കിട്ടുന്ന രീതിയിലുള്ളൊരു സാധനമായിരിക്കണം അത്. പക്ഷേ 75 പെർഫെക്റ്റ് സ്ക്വയർ അല്ലായിരുന്നു. അല്ലാത്തത് കൊണ്ട് 75 ഒരു പെർഫെക്റ്റ് സ്ക്വയർ ഇൻറ്റു സംതിങ് ആയിട്ട് എഴുതാൻ നോക്കി. 25 പെർഫെക്റ്റ് സ്ക്വയർ ആണ്, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ എഴുതിയത്. ഇനി വാട്ട് ഈസ് സ്ക്വയർ റൂട്ട് ഓഫ് 25? 5. See, I have to apply square root separately, no? What is square root of 25? 5. What is square root of 3? Square root of 3. because square root of 3 is not a perfect square, so I cannot calculate square root of 3. That's why I written as square root of 3 itself. Once again, square root of 25 into 3 is nothing but square root of 75. What is the reason for writing this? I am explaining the same thing once again and again, because you have to get understood. That's why 75 I written as 25 into 3, because 75 is not a perfect square, so I have to write the 75 as a, if it is possible only. So if it is possible, I have to write 75 as a perfect square into something. So 25 is a perfect square, so I can write 75 as a 25 into 3. Then apply square root separately. What is square root of 25? To 5. What is square root of 3? Square root of 3 itself. That means instead of that is the reason. You may understood. 75, 25 into 3. Then when you apply square root separately, square root of 25 is 5. What is square root of 3? Square root of 3 itself. What is square root of 110? That means we got the value of h as 5 root 3 by. So these are only some techniques we are using in maths. You have to give importance to these kind of techniques because we have to simplify the answer as much as possible. So we got the value of h, then we can easily substitute there. What was the area formula? Area is equal to half into h into a plus b. So when you substitute the value of h as half into h, we got as 5 root 3 by 10. So 5 root 3 by 10 into a plus b means 1 plus 2, isn't it? Then you can cancel this 5 and 10. Here 2 will come. Then when you multiply, we will get the answer as, here 1 into root 3 is root 3, and 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 plus 2 is 3 divided by, see, 3 into root 3 divided by 2 into 2 is 4. So answer is, see, 3 root 3 divided by 4 will be the answer. Answer of the tail portion only. And question number 4 also important question. I am not going to solve that question because I solved that question already. It means it is saying about a triangle and a parallelogram. Both have the same base and their areas are equal. So triangle area you can calculate by what? Heron's formula. And parallelogram area you can calculate by B into H. And equate both areas. Why? Because they are equal. In that way we can calculate. Now let me focus in this question number 9. I'm going to explain that question for you. Question number 9. All the remaining questions are very simple. You can easily use Heron's formula and just calculate that much only. And this floral question is very important. If you have any doubt, my phone number is 8078 11 9011, and you can ask me and clarify your doubts. And question number 9 I'm going to discuss. Okay, just before question number 9, question number 8 let me try, because some students are feeling some doubt with this question number 8. So have a try on question number 8 now. So this is the question. It's a floral design. So see, this is the figure. This is the figure according to that question. This is a rough figure only, and it contains 16 tiles. So over total tiles 16, and each tile is in the shape of a triangle with the side 9, 28, 35. 3 sides are given, isn't it? And we have to polish 16 tiles. This is a case of one tile, the same, and all the tiles are equal. It's a triangle shaped all tiles are in the shape of triangle, and all tiles are equal also. That means all 16 triangles are equal, and one triangle side is 9, 28, 35. That kind of 16 tiles are there. We have to polish it out, and in order to polish we have to pay a certain amount, and certain amount is given like that. See, 50 paise per centimeter square. It means for 1 centimeter square 50 paise. Then what will be about 2 centimeter square? 100 paise. That means 1 ruba. Then what about 3 centimeter square? 3 into 50, 150 paisa. This is given in paisa. For 1 centimeter square 50 paisa means, what about 2 centimeter square? 100 paisa. What about 3 centimeter square? 50 into 3, that means 150 paisa. That means for 1 centimeter square this much amount. Then what will be the total amount? Then we have to calculate total centimeter square required. If it is 10 centimeter square, 10 into 50 paisa. You may understood. So we have to calculate the total centimeter square required. The centimeter square stands for area. That means total centimeter square required means we have to calculate the total area. How many tiles are there? 16 tiles. So what is there any need to calculate the area of each 16 tiles? No, just calculate the area of one tile into multiply it with the 16. Area of one tile into 16 is sufficient. Once again I am repeating, it is given for 1 centimeter square at 50 paisa. So you know that for 100 centimeter square what will be the amount? 100 into 50 paisa. Just like that you have to calculate the total centimeter square. Total centimeters, in order to get the total centimeter square, centimeter square stands for area. That means we have to calculate the total area of the tiles. That means 16 into 16 tiles are there, so 16 into area of one tile. That means 16 into in order to calculate area of one tile, which formula can be used? Heron's formula. That means S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. Apply everything in that formula. SC semi-perimeter ABC are 9, 28, 35. You know that how to calculate. So after doing that, I reached here. I'm not going to explain that because you know well. 16 means 6. This 16 stands for total number of tiles. Don't get confused. 16 into square root of. So I express 36 as 9 into 4. So every time you no need to apply prime factorization method. What is the method is you have to make the presence of two same number. So when I expand 36 as 9 into 4, when I expand 27 as 9 into 3, this is not prime factorization. When I expand 8 as 2 into 4, see 2 9s are there, no? So square root of 9 into 9 is, so you can apply square root. What is square root of 9 into 9? Sorry, this is, what is square root of 9 into 9? 9. What is square root of 4 into 4? 4. What is square root of then under the square root what will remain? 3 into 2, 6 will remain. That means 16 into, what is 9 into 4? 36. 36 root 6. You may understood. So this much centimeter square will be the total area. Then you can multiply. You can treat root 6 as root 6 itself, because since it is a perfect square, we cannot calculate the square root. And textbook they may approximate, so we don't want the value of approximation and all. Just calculate 16 into 36. So we got 576 root 6 centimeter square. This is the total area. Then how to calculate the required amount? The required amount is nothing but 50. 50 paisa is for 1 centimeter square. So this much centimeter square is there. So 50 into this much. What is that? 576 into root 6. So multiply this one, these two, you will get that amount. And root 6 as it is, that much paisa will be the amount. And amount will be in paisa. If you want, you can convert the paisa. Multiply 50 into 576, that amount you can write there. So root 6 as it is, that much paisa. If you want, you can convert paisa into ruba by dividing by 100 as you wish. So this is the method of solving. Now let us focus on the last question, 9th question. I solved this question. Let me try to solve once again for you, because if someone is feeling doubt, I cannot leave them like that. That's why I'm explaining the same question again and again through different videos. And as you see, I have to, this is a field is in the shape of a trapezium. I'm discussing the question number 9 now. Field is in the shape of a trapezium. Parallel sides are given as 10, 25, and non-parallel sides are given as 14 and 13. Non-parallel sides, these are the non-parallel sides and these are the parallel sides, isn't it? And we have to calculate the area of the total field. In order to calculate the area of that field, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to separate the total trapezium as, if you want, you can use the formula half into h into a plus b. That I explained in the video session, in the last video session. But I'm not going to, if you want, you can use, no problem. You can calculate h. How you can calculate h? Which method I used in this tail portion, the same way you can calculate the area of this portion also by using half into h into a plus b after calculating h. But you will not get the sharp answer as textbook. But don't worry, you can follow the same method. In order to, if you want to get the sharp answer as in the textbook, another method is there that I am going to explain. Okay, I already explained the same method in the video also. If you are feeling comfort with that half into h into a plus b, that means which method we used, same method you can use here. If you are comfort with that method, you can use that method. Otherwise, next method is what we can do, just separate the total trapezium as a parallelogram and a triangle. What is the specialty of a parallelogram? Opposite sides are equal. That means if the side is 10, this also will be 10. If this side is 14, this also will be what? 14, because opposite sides are equal in a parallelogram. So out of 25, it becomes 10. Then what will be this one? Out of total length is 25. Out of that, it becomes 10 now. So the remaining will be 15. Are you following me? So in order to get the total area now, total area is nothing but area of triangle plus area of parallelogram. Total area is nothing but area of triangle. Total area is nothing but area of triangle plus area of parallelogram. Area of triangle can be calculated easily by using Heron's formula, but in order to calculate area of a parallelogram, the formula is b into h. B you can consider as this base 10, but h we need. But we know that from the figure it is clear that height of the triangle and height of the parallelogram are equal. So as I told you, in order to calculate the area of the parallelogram, we need height because the formula is b into h. So in order to get the height of the parallelogram, and the height of the triangle are equal. That means once you get the height of the triangle, you can apply the same height in the case of parallelogram, because see, from the first look itself, both heights are equal, no? Okay, so in order to get the height of the parallelogram, it is sufficient if you get the height of the triangle, isn't it? Okay. So anyway, as I mentioned, height of the triangle is enough. We can substitute the same height as the height of the parallelogram. So anyway, we have to calculate area of triangle, isn't it? In order to find out the height of the triangle also, we need area of triangle. So in order to calculate area of triangle by using Heron's formula, you can calculate area of triangle. So let me calculate area of triangle. I'm going to calculate area of triangle by using Heron's formula. Area will be square root of s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c. So in this way I can easily calculate the area of triangle. See, three sides are given. One is 14 and another is 15. One is 14, 15, 13. 14, 15, 13 are the sides of the triangle. So let us use the triangle and find out the area. See, we have reached the area of the triangle as 84 meters square. I'm not going to explain that method. And so we got area of triangle as 84 meters square. So area I'm going to replace by half into b into h. You can ask me why, because we already got the area. Then what is the need of again replacing a by half into bh? Because I need the value of h, height of the triangle. If you use this formula, you will get the value of h. If you use this formula, then only you will get the value of h. So area of a triangle is 84 meters square. If area is 84 എന്ന് കിട്ടി നമുക്ക്. ഇനി ഏരിയയ്ക്ക് പകരം ഹാഫ് ഇൻറ്റു ബി എച്ച് എന്ന് കൊടുക്കാമല്ലോ. കാരണം എന്താ, ഏരിയ ഹാഫ് ഇൻറ്റു ബി എച്ച് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാലും ഒരു ഏരിയ തന്നെയല്ലേ. സോ ഏരിയയ്ക്ക് പകരം ഹാഫ് ഇൻറ്റു ബി എച്ച് കൊടുത്തു. ഈ 84 അതുപോലെ ഇവിടെ എഴുതി. You may understood. Okay, and now you just see half into what is the base of the triangle? 15 into h as it is. We don't know the value of h, 84, because we don't know the value of h as it is. Okay, and now we just see from this we will get the value of h as 84. Right side is 84. Just take this denominator 2 to right side, it become into 2. When you take this in 15 to right side, it become in the denominator portion, and reduce, we will get the value of h. So we got the value of, after cancelling 84 and 15 by 3, we will get the value of h as 56 by 5. Then after getting the value of h, let us go for the calculating the total area. Total area is nothing but area of triangle plus area of parallelogram. Area of triangle we already got, it as 84, and area of parallelogram is b into h, and base of the parallelogram is 10, and height we got it as 56 by 8. So 10 into 56 by 5. This is the part of parallelogram, b into h. So 84 plus, you can cancel this 5 and 10. So 2 into 56 is 112. Then we will get the answer as 196 meters square. And this is the exact answer in the textbook. See, as you know, I solved almost difficult question for you once again. I didn't solve all difficult questions, but I tried to solve almost difficult question for you once again. So now you cannot say, sir, we didn't understand, and sir, we failed to understand. Don't tell me like that. If you are feeling doubt again and again, I given you the number now, so you can use that number and just call me and try to clarify your doubts. Okay, and please prepare the chapter well, and prepare for an exam very soon. It can be in the very next day. Please prepare for the exam. So have a very good learning and stay safe. Thank you.